big news, life update. I got laid off.
I was swinging along, minding my business, when suddenly out of the blue, just like a present from heaven, beautiful, wonderful you, the clouds disappeared and the birds started singing.
I found this shorts on Amazon online, and let me tell you, these are so cute because look at the pattern. It's funny. And the best thing is they're like 100% cotton. So in this hot weather, they're not making you extra hot. So yeah, I just wanted to share it because I love it. I found them on Amazon, and I'll try to link it down below if you're interested. Let me know. Lately, I really try to simplify my skincare. So actually, I don't have a lot to show you today. It's like, excuse me, this Bioderma normal to dry skin ultra nourishing moisturizing cream that I'm using every single morning. And then because it's summer, you guys, I'm just gonna say it a lot probably for this week's video, but it was the heat wave last week. Like it lasted like 4 or 5 days. It was brutal. It was so harsh. You probably experienced a version of this wherever you're living in, but in Canada, it's like too humid at the same time, and it's like almost impossible to breathe outside. So it was like AC blasting every day, all day. It was like a roller coaster in every way. So yeah, and regardless of the heat wave, even in the summer, the moment I put on something to my face, my pores like they're just pouring out everything, and I start, sweating from my face. So I just try to be very light with the moisturizer too. Like I'm just gonna grab a teeny bit and use this all for my whole face. And after some time, like I wait it to soak a little bit and then apply my sunscreen, and that's it. And I like, if I'm gonna go for a walk or something, which I usually do, I reapply the sunscreen over and over again during the day. So I have some like new zits and stuff, because no matter how good is your sunscreen, it's still like when you're applying over and over again and sweating and applying again, like it's just horrible for your pores and the face. So I inevitably get some new stuff on my face, but it's okay. It is okay. So yeah, this was my super short skincare. And when you see me with like straight hair, that means that I used some kind of heat tool, like straightener, or try to blow dry my hair at home. So those both means heat, and I cannot stand the heat right now. So in the summer, I am kind of using my own texture. I'm gonna show you in a second, but I just brush my hair, then apply a very light mousse. It's not one of those like harsh ones that making your hair very hard. No, it's like a softer one. I apply it, and most of the time I let it air dry, so my hair has its like most natural state as a wavy state. I sweat a lot. I'm a sweaty girl, and it's like you take a shower, you work out, you sweat. I'm not a person who's gonna take wash her hair every single day. I will take a shower every day, but not washing my hair. But how does it work for you guys? Like I'm honestly washing my hair twice a week now. When I wasn't working out, I was just washing it once a week. But now I have to, like I cannot just live myself like that. But it's still like, even for 3 days, I'm sweating. Then my scalp dries, and sorry if it's TMI, but share me with your experiences, please. I don't know, like it doesn't look oily. It's just the concept of knowing. Now I have product on my hair and I got sweat. Now it's dry and I'm living with it. I think I just have to live with it. I don't know. And I saw this from other internet girlies, thanks to all. Like, my hair is very, very wet. I didn't wait the towel to soak it so much, so apparently you're supposed to apply the mousse when your hair is like almost like dripping wet, very wet. So I'm using this Cake Curl Whip. So far I'm happy with it. It's cruelty-free, sulfate and paraben-free. It smells like a fluffy lemon meringue. What else can we ask from a hair mousse? So So, it's time to talk about somewhat unpleasant things now, unfortunately. So, the big news, life update. I got laid off 2 weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago today. And it was very unexpected by me and by, honestly, everyone else in my company. So, I've been working with them for the past 3 years, and I'm just thinking about what to say and how to say it, but it was like a small company owned by a big corporation in Canada, and as much as that big corporation gives you the security of, like, you're gonna get paid, you have your benefits and everything, but at the same time now I faced the cruel face of the corporate world, because they kind of see you as numbers and statistics, and I knew that in the past year the company was like the sales were down and they were struggling. So one day they decided to let go several people at the same time, including me. Anyways, it's you probably are like most of you are aware of the situation in this corporate world, but this was my first ever job in the private sector, because before that I was a guidance counselor and I was working for public schools in my own country. So you never had a boss, or you would never let go unless you wanted to resign, which I did, and moved to another country, changed my career, became a graphic designer. And this was my I worked in another company as a co-op student, but this was my second one, and I stayed with this company for 3 years. So it was my first ever private sector experience, and it ended now after 3 years. This wasn't the sexiest job in the market, honestly. This was the first job who took me as a student, so I stayed with them, and I was always looking, and like I even applied 1 or 2 places before, like more like better jobs, more like design focused and design heavy. But I wasn't lucky with those ones. But like I was always looking, like I wanted to leave this company eventually, but I would love that if would happen in my own terms instead of getting laid off effective immediately. But you live and you learn. I mean, and it was a shock at first. Like I had like this fight or flight reaction at first. Like they called me, I was working from home, so they called me on Teams, they gave me the news, and I started shaking, and I felt like I'm gonna cry for sure, but I just hold myself a lot with like massive force. And yeah, the meeting ended. I was just shaking, and I started crying a little bit because I just got panic. Like the first thing you think about, how am I gonna pay my rent? How am I gonna pay my bills? You guys probably experienced this a lot, but this was my first time, so that's why I'm talking about it this much and sharing my emotions, because it was an emotional roller coaster, honestly. At the end of the day, I was so relieved. I felt like I started to live my life again, honestly. Like we went out for dinner. We never did that before, like as a couple, because we were working, we had the work stress, and I was always exhausted or angry or stressed about something about the work, because I wasn't working with the best people, like as the management, at least. So they were stressing me out a lot all the time, and I finally felt like I took a deep breath and just calmed down a little bit. And now I thought, okay, it's time for me to focus on the things that I was procrastinating because of the work-related emotions. Like I mentioned this a lot before, and I was sharing tips here, like how to calm down yourself working from home, how can you stay productive, because I honestly needed those tips myself too, and I needed to remind them every day to myself. So now I felt like after that first panic and shock and crying, I felt like, oh my God, like this was kind of my dream to leave this company. And now I finally did. And now I start to think, okay, it's finally time for me to do all the things I couldn't do because I was working. Because my energy was drained, because I was feeling bad or sad or exhausted mentally. So I put up a bunch of things, including this YouTube channel. Like I was trying to do this on the side of my 9 to 5. It was a challenge. That's the reason I wasn't consistent with my uploads and shooting, like, and I was thinking like, okay, I'm working from home. What am I going to show people? Like, I'm just sitting at my desk 8 hours a day and I'm eating meals. And maybe you don't know, but I have this digital illustration stickers and other artwork that I've created over the years, and I always wanted to sell them, like participate in an art market or craft market, and maybe someday open an online shop to sell them, do a mailing club, a lot of things that I'm seeing online other artists and illustrators are doing. I always wanted to do something like that, and finally, like the moment I got laid off, I started looking at the craft markets and whatnot. So I found one as an introduction. It was a free one to participate, so it was a very small thing, but I thought it's great for an introduction. I purchased some stands and table, like for the market booth, and I opened my first booth. And it was so fun. Like, it was fun to set it up, meet with other artists, and interacting with people or visiting. It was unfortunately in a heat wave, so we had to move inside an art gallery because it had AC, but all at the same time, probably because of that, it wasn't very crowded or whatnot, and I made zero sales, $0, but it was like 10 people visited. And but I'm gonna keep trying because I enjoyed it a lot, even like the socializing aspect of it, because I was working from home. I was always at home. I had no friends from the company, so I was very isolated. But this was almost the opposite of what I did for the past 3 years. So I'm very excited for the upcoming art markets and all that stuff. And I have one lined up for July 17th, and it was a paid one, so I'm expecting it's gonna be a bigger event. It's open air, it's a night market, it's gonna last for like 5 hours, and so I'm expecting at least selling one thing. One sticker, one bookmark, and I'm gonna keep printing them. I just wanted to see what's happening at first. So that's the one positive thing. And I've been very consistent with my workout. And since I got I was already, but since I got laid off, like I'm just doing it on my own terms when I wanted to. I used to have to wait until after work, so I was like working out in the evenings after 5:30 and whatnot. But now I just do it whenever I want. I usually like 1 hour after my breakfast and something. So I utilize my day better and more effectively. And that doesn't mean like I'm just living the unemployment high right now. But I'm always, of course, looking for the new opportunities. But I don't want to rush myself. I'm just not going to rush myself to land on any job, because now I have the opportunity to stop and think about and strategize, because this job was my lifeboat when we first moved here. So it's another country. I was still a student, and like unless we found a job, there was no way for us to pay our rent and bills. But now I have like a tiny bit grace period to strategize and maybe go for a job that I really want to work. So when studying graphic design, we had the opportunity to discover different fields of our profession. Graphic design, it's the wide field. So you could do packaging, branding, you could do print stuff, you can go digital, you can do social media, you can do marketing, or the one I picked, I think, for myself is web and, the product design, UI, UX. That is something I really enjoy, and I know that I have an eye and like point of view towards accessibility, user experience, because I had the psychology background, so I know a thing or two about human behavior, you know. So I think it's a nice thing to lean on. And I already know how to use Figma. I know how to create a project from start to finish, but these days it's just evolving so fast. So I decided to take this time doing another thing I wanted to do, but I didn't have the energy for, which is completing some sort of course on UI UX and Figma, and you know, and I've already purchased some Domestika courses like a couple of years ago, but they were like sitting there because I didn't have the time at all. Now I'm gonna start doing them, and the next level, maybe I could go for Google certification, because it's always nice to show the employers that you have some sort of certificate or a degree on something you claim that you're an expert of. So, like, not with everybody, but with some employers that works. So that could be a nice thing to have. And I also enjoy my life, honestly. Like, I want to go to the beach in the summer. We heard on the news that our city has the highest unemployment rates in Canada right now, so it's not surprising. But honestly, like, economy everywhere, it's kind of, unless you're a tech bro, unless you're supporting AI slope, it's kind of hard for everybody else, especially in the white collar stuff. Honestly, I even thought looking for like having another career, but I was so new in this graphic field and I wanted to live it to the fullest first, before I go to like a service job or like skills or trades, the farm, animals. I would love that, but not in a exploiting animals in a way, more like a animal sanctuary in a way. Anyways, I digress. So yeah, that's the big update. It was a shock at first, but now I see it's like an opportunity for me to grow my skills, land on a better job, and preferably stay there for some time. So yeah, it's harsh out there, and if you're ever living in a similar situation, just don't lose hope. There are too many things humans can do, so don't obsess on one thing. Discover your abilities, your skills, and yeah, just go for it. Keep living, don't give up, and opportunities will come to you, come to me. I genuinely believe that. And thank you for listening. Now it's time for breakfast. I made myself 1 egg, 2 egg whites, a piece of sourdough toast with cottage cheese, honey drizzle, and black sesame. I also put some oregano on top of my eggs, and this divine strawberries. We saw those strawberries at the market, and we were like, why are they darker than the other strawberries? But we just wanted to try. So we grabbed 1 regular strawberries and these darker ones, and they taste divine. They're like little candies. I don't know what kind of sorcery or GMO is that, but they nailed it this time, and they're like local Ontario strawberries. I think it's a good thing. So yeah, I'm gonna have breakfast now, and we'll see what will happen next. The world is my oyster. I can do whatever I want. See you later. take a one last good look at my regular face because I'm gonna go and work out and I'm gonna look like I fought a battle. It happens all the time. I'm not an aesthetic gym girly. So this is the outfit, just regular black shorts, and this is kind of a gray top with a sports bra. Nothing special, and funny socks. And that's it. Now it's lunchtime. I'm gonna prepare some stuff. I had a nice workout. I'm still a little bit red. So you probably saw that I worked glutes today, and hopefully it was good for my body as well. So I'm basically doing the things I learned from my CrossFit gym and combining them with the stuff I learned online, like from other muscle mommies that I'm watching on YouTube and Instagram, and they're like correcting the postures and explaining stuff. So I'm just kind of memorizing the ones that are useful to me and try to do that on my own time. So please disregard the mess. Right now the kitchen is awful, but nothing special for lunch today because I have a bunch of leftovers from yesterday. So I have some nice Mediterranean eggplant dish. It's just with some olive oil. You just saute onions, garlic, and your eggplants for a while. And after eggplants are like deflated a little bit, you add your cherry tomatoes, a little bit of tomato paste, and the spices you love. I added dry mint, paprika, and a little bit of oregano. So this is super delicious, and you can eat it cold as well. So it's great for the summertime. And I have some cooked quinoa from the other day. So I'm just gonna heat them up quickly in the microwave and add some stuff on the side for extra protein and fiber. I'm gonna add yogurt to it. So if you've never tried yogurt and savory dishes, I highly recommend that you do. This is kind of like a Turkish staple that we eat every dish with yogurt, but it's a great addition for some extra protein, and honestly I just love its taste. And it still feels too desserty to you. You can add some salt and garlic into it and it will basically taste like it's a tzatziki. So it's a great addition for extra protein. And I will chop some cucumber on the side. This could easily be a pickle but I'm not feeling like it right now. Instead, I will add some salt on top of the cucumber in the yogurt. And I found this sauce the other day at the supermarket in the international aisle. This is tahini sauce with herbs. This tastes so good. So I'm gonna drizzle it over the quinoa a little bit. It is really so delicious. And I mean, I'm not a sauce person, like, so I could just easily eat any dishes, and with the salads I just love basic olive oil and lemon dressing, so nothing special. And my husband is like a sauce guy, like he just eats the food for the sake of the sauce. But like the other day I tasted it and I'm like, I think I found my sauce. Like now I'm gonna eat the dish for the sake of this sauce. It's really delicious. If you especially like Mediterranean tastes, like falafel bowls and all that stuff, this is hitting the spot right there. So it's really delicious. Here's the finished product. I don't know if you can see it with my messy kitchen. Let's do a taste test. I'm gonna do the taste test for you because I already know how it tastes. I've been eating this for 2 days at this point. So with the tahini drizzle, it's so good. Especially because the quinoa is so like bland taste. Like I still like it, but it's like a empty canvas. It's just making it really delicious. Some eggplant and yogurt. Yeah, you can't argue with that. So good.
I was swinging along, minding my business, when suddenly out of the blue, just like a present from heaven, beautiful, wonderful you, the clouds disappeared and the birds started singing a beautifully wonderful tune, for no other song could be worthy of beautiful, wonderful you. Now who could have thought this could happen? Who would have ever believed? Could it be true that someone like you could fall for somebody like me? I'll swing along, happy as ever, no longer lonely or blue, for I have been kissed by an angel, beautiful, wonderful you.
This is the other one of the Chores.
Who could have thought this could happen? Who would have ever believed?
Alright folks, it's about 7 p.m. right now, so I'm gonna go for my hot girl walk. I don't want to go it too early because even if it's not a heat wave, it's still summer. So I'm very sensitive to the heat and the sun, so I'm gonna spray myself with this sunscreen, wait a couple of minutes and go out for my walk. But I thought this is a good time to end this video here. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really missed vlogging, and now I have all the time in the world. I'm hoping to film my journey and share it with you more often. And if there are some of you out there searching for jobs, looking to grow your experiences and skills, please don't get discouraged, because I know it looks like a horror movie out there right now with the AI slob and everything. But if you're passionate enough and if you're good enough, you will land a job. I will land a job. I really believe in that. But no rush, no panic, just calmly build your portfolio, do everything you can, and opportunities will come. I genuinely believe that. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to follow along with my journey, please feel free to subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. And leave a comment down below what you're up to these days. I hope you have a great summer. I hope you're all doing well. And I'll see you later. Bye.